Caitlin Clark's name is now synonymous with excellence in college basketball. Her incredible talent and unmatched determination have made her one of the most celebrated players in the history of the game. However, her rise to stardom was not without its challenges. The journey that took her from being a young girl with dreams of playing basketball to one of the sport's most prominent figures is a story of perseverance, resilience, and most importantly, overcoming adversity. Caitlin Clark was bullied, underestimated, and doubted at every step of her journey, but she turned all the negativity into fuel for her success. The title, Caitlin Clark Was Bullied But Got the Last Laugh, perfectly encapsulates her story of transformation and triumph. From an early age, Caitlin Clark demonstrated a love for basketball that would set her apart. Growing up in a sports-centric family with her father being a coach, basketball was almost in her DNA. However, despite her passion and talent, Caitlin was not always given the respect or recognition she deserved. Being a young girl in a male-dominated sport came with its own set of obstacles. From the very beginning, Caitlin faced harsh criticism and bullying from her peers and even some adults. She was often told that her dreams were too big, her playing style too unconventional, and that she would never make it in the highly competitive world of basketball. Despite these early challenges, Caitlin remained determined. As a child, she had the innate ability to push back against the negativity, even when the people around her seemed to want to tear her down. Her fierce resolve was evident even in the face of the harshest bullying. It was during these formative years that Caitlin learned an important lesson. It wasn't the voices of others that would define her, but her own belief in herself and her talent. She embraced the adversity and used it as motivation to work even harder, to prove everyone who doubted her wrong. As Caitlin moved into her high school years and became more serious about basketball, the bullying only escalated. Many of her classmates, teammates, and even some coaches did not think she had what it took to compete at the highest levels. The whispers and doubters were everywhere. Her unorthodox playing style, marked by her fearless shooting and audacious moves, made her a target for criticism. People said she would never be able to succeed in the highly structured environment of college basketball, where discipline and traditional techniques were revered. She was called a wild card, and her game was often described as too chaotic, too unpredictable. However, Caitlin never allowed these comments to define her. Instead of fitting into the mold that others wanted her to occupy, she chose to carve out her own path. When Caitlin finally received a scholarship to play for the University of Iowa, she entered the highly competitive college basketball world. Here, the pressure was even greater. Every game, every play was scrutinized, and Caitlin was under a constant microscope. Many of the top basketball programs in the country had their eyes on her, and the expectations were sky high. Despite the immense pressure to perform, Caitlin's focus never wavered. She had learned how to block out the negativity, to shut out the voices of those who doubted her. She was no longer the young girl who had been bullied and ridiculed. She was a force to be reckoned with. Yet even as she proved herself on the court, Caitlin still had to battle against the persistent critics who refused to see her potential. Her style of play, which was characterized by deep three-pointers, flashy passes, and aggressive drives to the basket, was constantly questioned. Some critics claimed that her play was too individualistic and that she lacked the team-oriented mentality needed for success in college basketball. But Caitlin was undeterred. With each game, she silenced her critics with her incredible performances. The more they doubted her, the more she showed them what she was capable of. Her ability to score from anywhere on the court, her basketball IQ, and her leadership skills quickly became undeniable. Her breakthrough moment came during a nationally televised game, when Caitlin led the University of Iowa to a stunning victory over one of the top teams in the country. The game was a turning point, not just for her career, but also for the perception of her abilities. Critics who had previously dismissed her as a flash-in-the-pan player had no choice but to acknowledge her exceptional skills. This victory wasn't just a triumph in the game itself, but a victory over the years of bullying, doubt, and adversity that Caitlin had faced. It was her last laugh, the moment when she proved once and for all that she was more than capable of succeeding at the highest level. As Caitlin's career progressed, she continued to shatter expectations. Her performance in the NCAA tournament further cemented her place as one of the greatest players in college basketball history. She became the first player in history, male or female, to lead the NCAA in both scoring and assists in a single season. She was breaking records left and right, but it wasn't just about the accolades. It was about showing the world that a girl who had been bullied and told she would never make it could stand tall among the best players in the country. Caitlin's story resonated deeply with fans and athletes alike. She became a symbol of perseverance, a beacon of hope for young girls everywhere who faced obstacles in their own sports journeys. She showed them that no matter how many times the world told them they couldn't succeed, they could always rise above and prove everyone wrong. Her success became a testament to the power of hard work, self-belief, and resilience. Today, Caitlin Clark is celebrated not just for her athleticism and basketball IQ, but for her incredible mental strength. She has become an inspiration to countless young athletes, especially young women, who look up to her as a role model. The bullying that once plagued her has now been replaced with admiration and respect. She is no longer the young girl who was doubted and ridiculed, but a global basketball icon who has achieved everything she set out to do. Caitlin Clark's last laugh is the sound of every critic who once doubted her being silenced, and it's the echo of every young person who believes that no matter what obstacles they face, they too can achieve greatness. Her journey from being bullied to becoming one of the greatest college basketball players in history is a powerful reminder that the road to success is never easy. It's full of challenges, doubts, and setbacks. But those who persevere, who refuse to be defined by the opinions of others, are the ones who ultimately find success. Caitlin Clark's story is a shining example of what it means to rise above adversity and take control of your destiny. She may have been bullied, but she certainly got the last laugh. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.